what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with all the Flat Earth Debate pre-show and after-show goodness. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below this video. Also, there's a new website, nathanoakley.com, with a spanking new forum, so go and check out the forum and join the Flat Earth Debate community. Now, we have Ranty Flat Earth with us currently, so I'll say a quick hello to him before we start the live show. So how are you doing, Ranty?
Doing good, thank you. Bit hungover, but just the way it is.
Been out on the pop with your mates? I've already had the lay down.
Well, it figured this way that I'd basically spent so much time on Flat Earth that I hadn't realised how long it hadn't been since I'd been out with my friends. So basically a year. I haven't seen my friends for a year because I've been basically doing Flat Earth every single night, and I realised that I needed a night out basically.
That's fair enough. I realised the same thing middle of last week once I'd started doing the live streams on the channel that we'll go live on in a minute. So when I was doing it on Flat Earth Debate channel, immediately I realised that my workload had like tripled. So I'm doing the show, then I'm putting it out onto the website, then I'm putting it out onto the second channel, then I'm putting it out to the first channel, then I'm monitoring in the order that they're published in so that they go out at the right times. I miss stuff occasionally, so I have to go back to it. And I was getting to the end of the oh, you got my website up. Oh, thanks, Ranty.
Yeah,
do a proper job of shilling for my website. Excellent stuff. So yeah, it's just a lot of work. So hopefully in about 10 days I'll go onto the second channel so I can actually stream from the second channel, then just mirror it on the main channel, and that'll cut my workload down by about a third. But my point being that, like you, I quickly realised when I started doing the shows on the third channel that I wasn't spending any time with my wife. So it got to the weekend and I said to Anthony, look, I'm going to have to take the weekend off. My plan being to do the Thursday show, 2 of them, mirror one on Thursday, keep the next one for the Friday, do the same on Friday, do 2 shows, and then mirror them on Saturday and Sunday. So I've got the weekend off and there'd still be shows going out at the regular time. And instead of that, I forgot to do it on Thursday, so I ended up just taking Sunday off, and there was just 2 shows. The show that went out on Sunday being extremely popular, it just had a massive shout out from Scientism. So he did pretty much a dedicated advert for this channel for about, well, if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley, that is. Yeah, because I made it clear to Jaron I don't want to promote the Flat Earth Debate channel. It's just a temporary measure. I've repurposed one of the old business channels my wife and I had, just to do the debate live temporarily. So 10 days from now it won't even be there, and the ones we do get shut off. There you go. So big shout out to Jaron of Jaronism for covering the logical fallacies of Wiggles, and indeed the nonsense that is a vacuum next to a gas pressure here on Earth. So he did a full video with nice drawings making it really clear you can't have gas pressure without a container. So massive shout out to Jaronism for that. But like I say, it's just you just don't get time to spend with your family if you are as dedicated to Flat Earth as perhaps some people are. Jaron's one of them. I can imagine him being in the same boat. The amount of content that he puts out. So yeah, it's one of those. Hopefully my workload will drop though once that channel gets to the position, the second channel, that is Nathan Oakley channel, can stream. It'll cut my workload down. And in March, when my community guideline strike lapses, I can actually stream on the main channel, and that'll mean I can actually have a life again. But for the time being, I'm pleased that the website's coming along. Is that a glitch you found?
Yeah, well, it's obviously still under construction, but it's pretty. Well, I'm looking around. Yeah, there is a little glitch. If you click the view the most recent debates, it comes up with a 404 error.
Oh, okay.
So
that's easily sorted. Yeah, I mean,
that should be easy enough to fix.
I haven't massively promoted the site. I've mentioned it on one show now, this one, so 2. But it's done, but it's not been tested, so you can probably see from the forum, I'm pleased with this. I'm very, very pleased with the forum, because I'm hoping this will get utilised and spark discussions, and that will feed into the debate itself, i.e. this. But that's just been started. I think there's even one person that's opened. If you go to proof of the distance to the sun and open that, there's somebody that's actually left a comment. Maybe it's not that one. One of them's got a very lengthy. Could be a different one. Go back a page. Sorry, this is going to get tedious for the audience if we're not careful.
No, it's fine. I mean, people can find it themselves, I'm sure. Gas pressure without a container.
That's the one. Gas pressure without a container. Pretty sure that's got it. No. Well, there's definitely one of them in there, unless that's it. Do you have to click on the actual...
We'll figure it out.
In case you haven't realised, this is as new to me as it will be to the people who are going in and using it. So there's going to be a learning curve for me as much as anybody else in terms of how the forum operates and how it progresses. But it's there to be joined now. You can definitely join and make posts, although we can't find them on the fly whilst recording this pre-show bit. There's somebody who has definitely left a post on one of those forums. I can't remember exactly which one it is.
Okay.
Either way, hopefully there'll be more than just one going forward into the future, and the forum will actually get utilised. But at the moment, it's brand spanking new, as is the site. Yes, it's going to have a little bit of... there we go. Is that the one? The Equinox experiment. This is it. So here we go. So somebody has sparked some discussion. Thank God, whoever you are. Thank you very much. I think they're a Glober, but I don't care. Either way, there's somebody who's in there with a lengthy explanation for a potential test or observation that they could do, how it contradicts a given model, and I resisted the temptation to point out the formal logical fallacy that's required to make it into a globe proof, and just thought I'll leave it out there. And I didn't expect it to happen quite this quickly, but great, it's now on screen for people to see that there is a forum. Discussions have begun, and hopefully people will join that community. I really hope that's the case. That's what it's been designed for. A lot of work's been put into it, and I hope it gets utilised. I need to get familiar with the reply structure, getting it into my email so I can actually monitor it a bit more closely. That's something on my to-do list, one of a million. Hello. Come in to see Daddy making his show. Not started yet.
And look at all these debates. I like the way you've categorised them into 50s. Hello, Eleanor. How are you?
Well, that was your idea, Ranty, so...
Yes, I know.
So, yeah, I mean, the thumbnails are all very high resolution, so, it takes a few seconds for all of the thumbs to load, which I have had to just accept that that's the case because they are very high resolution images, but when you find them on a Google search, they look stunning, which I'm more pleased with. So while it might be tweakable, maybe there's a few less that need loading in each category, I don't think it matters that it takes 2 or 3 seconds for all the nice looking thumbnails that are all unique with the numbers on them to load. I'm happy with that. It was much worse when there was hundreds. It took forever, but if you go to maybe science and interviews, you'll see a bunch of things that aren't debates. So there are videos on there that are not debate related, i.e. interviews with people, science versus scientism. You can see random interview with D Marble or Subtle Infinity or whoever else is in there. But yeah, the site works. It's running nicely. There's reference to the debates if there's something that comes up in the discussion forum, so you can go back on the site itself to actually have a little look, or you can check out an interview with Adam Meakin as Ranty's doing. But yeah, it's good. Hopefully we can drive some traffic towards the website, and if we're shilling, no shame whatsoever in me shilling for a few other things. So same applies. Ranty's talked me into this, starting a what do you call it again? Patreon.
Patreon, yeah.
Since setting it up with you, Ranty, I've got to be honest, I've not even glanced at it. You can probably tell because it's not even been refreshed since when it was very first set up. So I've got various different things. I know you've said that there are people that have actually become patrons. Is that right? So
That's correct,
5 patrons. Wow. So huge shout out to the patrons I didn't know I had. Except for Jaren, who did contact me and say, I'm your first Patreon. So again, another shout out, 2-in-1 pre-show for Jaren. But yeah, he became my first Patreon. So the level of support since having a load of argy-bargy with copyright strikes and community guidelines claims and essentially people trying to remove me from the net. I've now blossomed into having a Patreon, having a website. Things are good other than my workload. I'm really chuffed at the moment. So back on you, Ranty. But yeah, big shout out to my Patreons. Really, really, really grateful. Thank you very much. If you want to become a Patreon, there's a link in the info box below the video. And unfortunately, Ranty, with that, I'm actually going to have to start the live show.
No worries.
Got good times for all in the chat, though. So, hey to good times for all. Good to see you, my friend. You will be graced with a live show momentarily once I've got a few buttons pressed.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to join the Flat Earth Debate community, then check out the website, nathanoakley.com, where there is a community forum, brand spanking new, that you can all join and enter discussions there. Most importantly, if you would like to join this discussion live, you can click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Ranty Flat Earth. How are you doing?
How do?
You're not gonna shill for me through the whole live show, are you?
No. Absolutely, I wouldn't do that. Would you think I would do that, Nathan? Really? Seriously?
Well,
even though
I was grateful for it. I'll be honest.
Wait a minute.
You know, when I came back and it had been a month of no earnings, I'll be honest. You saying it's disgraceful, Nathan's really poor, I was like, yeah, actually, I'm not going to argue with you. But now I've put that behind me, written it off. Let's new month, February, brilliant. You know. But by the same token, smash the super chat if you want to support this channel and you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley. But there we go. Let's. You're going to show it. I can tell you do want to shell for me, so I'll let you do it. We'll get it out of our systems. There's my Patreon. Go and be a Patreon for me. Support this channel.
Right. That's right. Listen, at the end of the day, this is off platform, so off YouTube. So, yeah, you can do the super chats, but super chats, they take like 33% of your money. Whereas Patreon, you get about 98% of it. So they only take 2%, I believe, Patreon or something like that. So, you know, it makes more sense for people to actually become a Patreon than sticking in a super chat. It really does. And, you know, it's a guaranteed income for you, something that if the worst happens and you get strikes on your channel again, you can actually do your live streams from this site, nathanoakley.com, which, you know, William, I've been a part of it, or a very small part of it, and yourself have actually put together this website, and you can actually do it off platform. So if the worst happens and YouTube takes your channel away, people can find you here and they can support you on Patreon over here. And you can support from as little as $5, $10, $20 and upwards. So there's my little shill for you. But I want to talk about this website, Nate, because we were just talking about it before.
Well, yeah, it's the main unique feature on the website. Yes, there's all the material that's on YouTube anyway, and it's in a nice format and great. You can get that from YouTube, but what it does have that's unique that isn't on YouTube is the forum. So I hope this going forward will spark more discussion and more debates. It's brand new. There's only one post on there so far about, I think it's the distance to the sun, something along those lines. There's an Equinox experiment. There we go. So we did this in the pre-show and it was far less slick. So yes, but yeah, there's the forum. Go and join it. There's a link in the info box. nathanoakley.com. Yeah, that's what I do want to promote it. I hope it drives discussion here when we're live on YouTube. Yes, if the worst should happen, I've now got a Patreon, so I can still earn a modicum. Is that the right word? Some degree of income if the worst should happen, which, you know. Hence me moaning yesterday. I think I had a bit of a moan about this, but you know, I was left without an income for a month because the worst did happen on YouTube and all of my channels were shut down. That's still the case. I'm still streaming on this channel now to all the... Let's do some shout outs. Hey Zach, good times for all. First indeed, good to have you. AJM, nice to see you. Secret Asian Man, cool. Very slick with your sunglasses, my friend. Ute, legend. Yes, this is indeed live now. You are watching the live show. Kinel, nice to have you. Good day. Good God. What'd she say? Poetry on Arwen stream. Don't shill for other people's channels, even though we're shilling for a website forum. Well, what the hell? I'm not trying to drive people off topic. I'm glad you're all here tuning off topic, off platform. I'm glad you're all tuned in live. Thank you for being here. Canal, very good to see you. What else we got? AJ Chocolate saying, nice to see you as well. There is a link in the info box if you want to join Chocolate. Although I do hate it when people say that from their live shows and I'm in the chat. Oh, would you like to join? No, I'm having some toast. Leave me alone. I want to watch. So good to have you, Chocolate saying. Absolute legend. Destroying unorthodox the other day. Flat Earth Data. Don't know why your message is held for review, but there we go. There it be. Let's approve Flat Earth Data. So shout outs to all the people in the chat. Ranty's been showing you some of the stuff on the website. And yeah, that's it. I don't think I can chill for anything else other than saying.
Well, I think the amount of work that's gone into this, literally, I know that you've been working on this for a month, if not slightly longer, and you've been on it every day, 12 hours a day. And I know that for a fact. I actually know that because I've been seeing you pull your hair out, literally. So this website has been created in a month, which I think is exceptional considering the amount of data that's actually on here. You've put all your old videos on this site. Everything's on here, literally everything. And it's really good. I want to promote it because I see YouTube at some point with this announcement about censoring censoring Flat Earth. It is going to come after people that put content out. It literally is. I mean, I have a website too, but it's not even created yet. It's going to take me probably 2 or 3 months to make it. But you've done this in a month. Yours is actually functioning right now, and people can join. They can go to the forums. They can basically take themselves off of YouTube if the worst comes to the worst. And this is where they can find all your work. In fact, you can stream from here at some point. Is that right, Nate?
Well, yeah, but by the same token, I mean, it is, if I was to directly tell people in the audience to go there as an alternative, then I'm breaking the community guidelines on YouTube, and that's not what I want to do. I mean, I'll stress this right now. My objective is to be a successful YouTuber, and I have never denied this. You know, the whole point of having a backup is a contingency against being ejected off YouTube, so it's kind of cyclical in a way. Hold on a second. Kid's screaming from the next room. Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, okay, sausage. I think she's just screaming with happiness playing, so I'm not too worried. Anyway, so yeah, I've lost the point. Yeah, I'm not trying to convince people that they shouldn't be watching here and now. And you know, my original backup was to have more than one YouTube channel and keep them all running. So they're all old. You know, I haven't got any new YouTube channels. These are all very old channels, including the one I'm streaming on now. So, you know, I've just utilised them to a greater effect as a backup if the worst should happen. But you think, well, beyond the worst that can happen within YouTube, I could get off YouTube completely. And that's what happened during January. You know, ironically, that's been my biggest growth of subscribers because lots of people have shouted me out. So it's been great. I've grown in subscribers. It hasn't fiscally helped me particularly, but it's been wonderful to watch the subscriber count go up. And a massive warm hello to all the new subscribers, because in the last 28 days, I've gained over 2,000 subscribers, which some people might not bat an eyelid at. For me, that's absolutely astonishing growth. I've never experienced anything like it. And it's down to Red Pill Philosophy and Jaren and Patricia. These are the people that have actually promoted me personally and the debate and got it to where it is now. So the one thing I wanted to, just so we don't stay on this subject indefinitely, Ranty, me and me shilling for me and you shilling for me, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about me. What do you think about me? No, I'm only joking. No, just joking. It's an old Johnny Bravo joke. So on the forum, the whole point of that forum is, at least initially, this may expand, is about the questions I'm about to ask. So as always, there's a link in the info box. If you had the page loaded and you were waiting for the show, you might need to refresh, but it's there for people to join to answer these questions. And they are exactly the same questions in the forum under these subheadings. You know, is there any signs of curvature? Is there any signs of axial rotation of the earthly variety? Is there any signs of gas pressure without a container? Is there any science for gravity? Is there any evidence of a molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? Is there any distance to the sun evidence? Is there any evidence of the presupposition of the R value? Those are the subheadings. Should really have it up on screen, so I want to do this. Those are the subheadings for the forum. So it's... let's just go through it so I can actually see it. So these are the categories that I want people to be discussing. So it does drive discussion here on YouTube Live. Hopefully we'll get somebody in who's in some sort of position to challenge any of these questions. And that's what I hope will drive things forward. People will come and say, actually, I was on your forum discussing this the other day, and I absolutely hammered a flat earther because I do have proof that you can have gas pressure without a container. Hello, Salvador? Hello? Did you say hello?
Hello.
Hello, good to have you.
I just came on because I saw the Jeranism video that he posted on the gas pressure thing, and I thought you're deserving of an explanation. I study science, so I do physics. It's not my major. I major in chemistry, but I've done physics, so I just wanted to give you an answer on that kind of thing.
Fire away. We're all ears.
Well, the thing is with the vacuum of space is that truly there is no real thing as a perfect vacuum. I'm sure we're all in agreement there. That
you're quite quiet. Can you just say that once more? I'm not trying to interrupt. I just can't hear you very well.
I'll get closer to the microphone. There's no real true thing as a perfect vacuum, as in there's no infinitely spacious area of space. There's always some molecule of some sort somewhere along the way. Yeah.
Have you been there? Have you been to space to test that out for yourself?
No, it's just that it's inevitability of physics. If you want me to start from somewhere else, I'm okay with that.
No, that's okay. My understanding from the current heliocentric priest is that it's 10 to the minus 17 torr.
Yeah. So it's
that's
not
quite a big differential
vacuum.
in pressure, though. Wouldn't you agree? From what we have here, that's quite a big difference.
Yes, that is a very big difference. The thing that you have to recognize about that is that most of the breathable atmosphere on our Earth is within 8,000 meters, which 8 kilometers, I don't know what that is in empirical measurements, but not a lot of space. Yeah.
So what's your point, though?
The gas that is essentially adhering to the Earth's surface is pulled in by gravity, and that's how it seemingly violates the second law of thermodynamics, which you're citing in the
That's not the case.
situation.
Do you want to show me a demonstration of that, please?
Well, just theoretically, in a thought experiment kind of sense.
No. Did you just substitute the word demonstration for theoretically? No. Can you show me a demonstration of the claim that we have gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container? Can you demonstrate that? Not theoretically, a demonstration of it.
Well, in order to do that, you would need a sufficiently massive object, which as a fairly basic society, we're incapable of producing that.
So
there's no demonstration.
Hey, Travis, how you doing? How massive? Maybe the size of Earth. Would that be about how massive you'd need?
Pardon?
Approximately how big? Maybe the size of Earth, that sort of size.
Yeah, probably. I think the moon has.
Hold on, sorry. Probably the size of Earth. So this is essentially you using your religious belief about what Earth does as the proof.
No,
Well, you've just said we need an object the size of Earth, and then you're going to tell me theoretically what that Earth-sized object would do, right?
In order to demonstrate it physically, that's what you would need. But I'm capable of proving it.
So you can't demonstrate it beyond your religious assertion of what Earth does. That's my point. So you're saying theoretically or otherwise, I would need something the size of Earth, but you're going to tell me what Earth does and use your theoretical example of an experiment you can't perform that needs an Earth-sized object to do it. So essentially, this is circular reasoning with your religious belief about what Earth does.
Well, let's go back to the second law of thermodynamics.
No, just say yes. No, just concede. You've just used circular reasoning. Don't move on. I'll just keep you here indefinitely till you say yes. What I'm about to do is assert my religious belief about what Earth does. Now you're talking over me. Stop talking over me.
Sorry.
You've just asserted your religious belief about what Earth does, and the proof for it is to take something about the size of Earth to demonstrate it, which you can't do. So essentially using your own religious belief about what Earth in space does as the proof of what Earth in space does. Circular reasoning. I want you to concede that is what you've just done.
Yes, but that is not what I wanted to.
I don't
talk
care what
about.
you want to do. That's what you've done, and I need you to concede that that's not acceptable standards of evidence to use a bloody religious belief.
Yes, that is not what I was trying to prove.
I don't care what you were trying to do. That's what you did. Are you deaf?
Because of you demanded that I demonstrate it physically.
Oh,
but I'm
so
not
should we
trying
just
to
believe
demonstrate it
you?
physically.
Sorry, I demanded that we get proof of this. Oh, my bad. Sorry, should we just believe you, or should we believe the priest you'll refer to? So is physical evidence not a standard that we should adhere to here?
I'm not trying to prove it physically. I'm trying to prove it.
I don't care what you want to prove mentally. Prove it physically. If you're going to claim we can have gas pressure, shut up! If you're going to claim we can have gas pressure without a container, you're damn well going to be showing it, because it's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. So either show it, or go and have your musings about what it might do theoretically elsewhere.
What is the second law of thermodynamics?
Why are you asking me a question? Can you demonstrate gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container? Because that is your claim.
The second law of thermodynamics is that higher energy states will move to lower energy states. You following me at the current moment? Yes?
Do I follow you? I understand this implicitly. The gas pressure that we have is an energy.
It is
shut up!
By a
You've
force.
asked me, I'm telling you. Why do you keep talking over me?
I'm continuing my point. I'm sorry.
Your point defies the second law of thermodynamics. A high energy state would be gas with pressure, molecules with energy, going into somewhere with no energy, a low pressure state. So that's entropy, isn't it?
What?
And the gas fills the space, contrary to what your religious belief about Earth is. So you don't make any points. You've only asserted your religious faith about what Earth does. What are you actually going to provide as physical evidence? None. You've only got theory. So you've got nothing then.
Oh no.
The thing I'm trying to say is that it's unless acted upon by a force. Yes?
Yeah, what are you going to assert again? Circle jerk us for the second time and assert there's a force of gravity?
That the force that is being exerted upon is gravity.
Yeah, so you are going to circle jerk us for the second time. So demonstrate gravity holding gas pressure without a container.
That's not the demonstration I'm trying to prove.
I don't care what you're trying to do. You've just asserted that gravity's the answer, and gravity is the magic band-aid, as always, that can maintain gas pressure without a container in this instance. So show it.
Gravity is a ubiquitous force. It is an attraction between any...
No, it's not. It's just bullshit. Made up by idiots who claim, with mathematics, that we have a force we never see. There is no attraction between masses. We never see this ever. It is not demonstrable. You're just making it up. It's based on your religious faith. If you want to claim gravity, provide me the scientific evidence for it.
Well, for example, the Cavendish experiment is...
That's not an experiment.
The easiest.
It is not an experiment. So straight away you failed. That's not an experiment. It does not have an independent and a dependent variable. The observation of a phenomena is not an observation of a phenomena. It is conjured within the apparatus. That would be the second to last step in the scientific method. Not the first. It's not an experiment. It's a pseudo-science circus sideshow. Don't claim things that are not scientific are scientific, because it's not.
Well, let me correct you on that. The independent variable is the presence of the spheres or not. That is the independent.
Let me get it right as a logical syllogism. You're saying that the objects in close proximity is the cause. So not gravity then.
It's the mass itself. Mass attracts mass, yes.
So you're saying the cause is mass?
Yes.
So if mass, then mass attracts mass?
No.
Well, that's what you've just said. The phenomena is mass attracts mass. You're saying the independent variable is mass. So your formulated hypothesis is if mass, then mass attracts mass. Number one, That's not a hypothesis. Number 2, Cavendish is not an experiment. Number 3, we never, ever, ever observe mass attracting mass. So this is nonsense, and I'll say it again, not an experiment, not proof of gravity, and absolutely definitely not a demonstration of gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container, which is what you're attempting to do with this nonsense.
The Cavendish experiment is
It's not an experiment.
A demonstration of gravity.
Are you deaf?
The
Are you
independent
deaf?
variable, as you're saying,
Are you deaf?
is
Are
when the sphere.
you deaf?
I don't understand why you're being
Are you
so
deaf?
aggressive.
Are you deaf?
Why are you like?
Are
so
you deaf or
angry,
not?
dude?
Can you hear the words I'm saying?
No,
That's
I'm
why
not.
I'm asking. Are
I'm
you
trying
deaf?
to explain myself, and whenever I get on,
It's not an experiment. I've just explained
over
it.
me.
I've just explained it, and you've not acknowledged it, and then immediately referred to it as an experiment. I've explained in detail that it's not, and why it's not. Even got you very quickly to the nonsense formulation of a non-hypothesis. If mass, then mass attracts mass. Nonsense. Not a hypothesis, not science. Yet you immediately then referred to it as an experiment. That's why I'm so aggressive. You haven't acknowledged what I've said. You haven't conceded what I've said. You have ignored what I have said and declared it an experiment for a second time. If you want to piss me off, you're doing it. That's how. Do you understand why I'm getting annoyed with you now?
Do you want me to go through the entire scientific method for the Cavendish?
No.
Whatever you
have
want
I
to
asked
call
you
it.
for that? Or have I asked you for the second time to concede that it's not an experiment? Which it is absolutely not.
I believe it is an
I
experiment.
don't care about your
I'll
belief.
Be happy to
You
lead
bloody
through that if
religious
you want.
zealot. I don't care what you believe. I couldn't give a crap about your belief. Go away to some fundy globehead site so you can be a fundy elsewhere. Your beliefs don't bother me. You are a nobody and your beliefs are irrelevant here.
And you're acting like you're a somebody? Pardon?
You're a fundy. You're a fundy zealot who's telling us that we need to understand your belief, like we care. It's not an experiment. You still haven't conceded this. You've referred to it twice after detailed explanation of why it's not an experiment. You're still referring it to it as such, which tells me you're ignorant or deaf. That's why I keep asking. So I'll ask again. Are you deaf? Did you hear me explain this?
The hypothesis is...
If mass, then mass attracts mass. Not a hypothesis. You don't have a phenomena. You're not watching mass
I'm
attracting mass.
interrupting you, and don't interrupt me. Let me...
Yeah, you said the hypothesis. It doesn't have a hypothesis. I'm ripping it a new one because you've clearly not answered if you're deaf or not. Because you didn't hear me the first time. If mass, then mass attracts mass is not a scientific hypothesis. It's nonsense. Mass doesn't attract mass. This is not an observed phenomena.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're saying it's a hypothesis. You are using scientific terminology again for something that is pseudoscience, a circus sideshow, as I referred to it as. You didn't acknowledge a single word of it. You then referred to it as an experiment. Now you're trying to detail the hypothesis again. Stop using scientific terms just because you're in an education system that tells you you're a scientist. You're not. If you were,
I'm not
you
a
would
scientist, I haven't
understand that it
graduated.
doesn't have a valid scientific hypothesis. If mass, then mass attracts mass is not a hypothesis. Mass attracts mass is not an observed phenomena. It's conjured within the so-called experiment, which it's not.
Are you going to let me talk, or you... Or
Not
you're
if you
just gonna
keep using
interrupt me
scientific
whenever I try to
terminology
talk?
incorrectly. I'll talk over you. And if people object, it's because they side with you through their zealotry. I'm right, you're wrong. It's not an experiment. It does not prove gravity, and it absolutely does not demonstrate a gas being maintained without a container due to this pseudo force that does not have scientific validity.
I don't even know what you want me to say anymore. Like, I'm
Yeah,
trying
prove
to...
that you can have gas
I'm trying
pressure.
to have a conversation.
You've said I don't understand. So pause, shut your stupid mouth, and I'll tell you what you don't understand, ignorant person. You don't understand that you can't demonstrate your faith in space. Your faith being based on a second law of thermodynamics violation. So unless you can demonstrate gas pressure being maintained without a container, then you've got no reason being here, as that's what you've come in to claim, isn't it?
Can I?
Well, I'm trying to explain, but you're just
Yeah,
interrupting
you're trying
me
to
whenever I
explain.
try.
Demonstrate it. Gas pressure being maintained without a container. Demonstrate a second law of thermodynamics violation beyond your religious belief.
Well, for instance, you put a force on something. For example, when you breathe in and your lungs expand, they create a vacuum force, which brings in gas pressure, and you can hold that pressure as long as you continue to pull outwards.
Oh, that's fascinating. So the vacuum of space would pull in the pressure that's on Earth then, precisely as I would assert. Thank you for that concise example of how the gas pressure would leave and go into the void of space forever to never return. Yes, excellent example. So that contradicts your belief in space
it's
then,
being
dickhead.
acted upon by a force.
Yeah, you don't have a force. You've tried to refer to a pseudoscience circus show to prove a force rather than demonstrating that force maintaining gas pressure without a container. So you don't have an example. You keep circle jerking us because you won't concede that your pseudoscience for this force called gravity is not an experiment. How many times are we going to circle jerk around this?
If I'm trying to understand what grounds upon you are objecting. If it's the hypothesis, I can explain to you what the hypothesis is. Is that what you want?
Yeah, I heard it. If mass, that's your cause, the mass, the thing you're varying and manipulating in the so-called experiment, called the Cavendish experiment incorrectly. You're manipulating the independent variable of mass, that being your cause, mass. What's the effect that you are observing? Torsion bar twist. That would be mass attracts mass. So if mass, then mass attracts mass. That's not a hypothesis, it's nonsense!
If mass, then force. Is
Not
that
force! You're not observing force, you bonehead. You're observing torsion bar twist. Something that is claimed to be mass attracting mass, but it's produced inside the test. If you can produce a phenomena of mass attracting mass, then I'll accept it as a phenomena, not what's conjured within the test. That's the last step. In the experimental stage, you validate the hypothesis. Your hypothesis, nonsense, being if mass, then mass attracts mass. Just utter gibberish.
the hypothesis is if mass, then force. Is that
So what
better?
you're saying
Yes?
now is the force of gravity is now the observed phenomena. So you've done the old
Yes.
switcheroo like every single globe head that comes in with this example, and
That's
now
what
we
I've
have
been
our
saying in
observed
the
phenomena being the force rather than the effect. So it's now the force that we're observing, not mass attracting mass, not that phenomena. It's been switched around by you, the idiot who doesn't understand that the observed phenomena is not the same as the cause, but when you formulate it, if mass then mass attracts mass, then you have exactly that. Nonsense.
You know, I was.
So we're not going to
thinking,
switch
I'd
the.
come in here
Excuse
and
me.
have another
Excuse
nice
me.
conversation
We will
with
not be
you,
switching the
and
independent and
I was
dependent
thinking,
variable
like,
around halfway
hey,
through your example.
maybe I'd have a good conversation with someone, but as soon as I try to speak, you just
Oh no, victim status. I'm not allowed to substitute my phenomena for my cause, so I'll claim victim status.
I'm looking in the chat. John Wilson.
Excuse
centripetal
me, I
forces
host
are
the
just
show.
fictitious
You
forces.
don't talk to my chat. You don't have an experiment. You're not conceding, you're talking to my chat. So concede to the guy handing you your own ass.
No, because
No, because I've got a religious belief, right?
when you put a large sphere next to another sphere of any size, the sphere will be displaced by a factor that you can measure as the mass and the mass of the other object and the radius between the centers of mass. Yes?
Oh,
And there can be
okay.
no other causes.
Hold
There
on,
can be
guys.
no
Hold
other
on.
causes.
Where can I observe that
What
in
is
nature?
what is another cause?
Sorry, I've got a quick
Please.
question. Where's that observed in nature?
Well, you see, you stay on the ground because the Earth is a very massive object. You can
So we're making the presupposition that we're on a sphere Earth, correct? With gravity, correct? And the gravity's pulling it to the centre of the sphere Earth. So now we're into a formal logical fallacy, where you're automatically assuming your outcome and formulating it into the proof of your
even
outcome.
without the sphere Earth. Yeah, the Earth underneath you,
You've
it's
just said,
very large.
You
Yeah,
just said you've got balls that attract each other. Now tell me where I can observe that in nature. Not assuming that
Your
Earth
feet-
is a massive sphere like you did with your last religious belief about space.
Not a sphere. It can be anything. It can be a donut. It can be a piece of paper
Not
in the wind.
Earth.
But it's a very
Not Earth.
A
Listen
very
up.
massive
You're not
object.
listening. That's why I asked if you were deaf. Show me any instance in nature where mass attracts mass. Show me where I can observe this natural phenomena.
well, you see, for instance, the moon moves around us.
Oh,
That is,
so we're back to this.
Force of gravity.
So we're back to this. You're begging the question. You're assuming the Earth orbits a spherical Earth. So we're assuming our outcome again. Earth's a sphere with the Earth and Moon system in orbit. So you're begging the question again, assuming our outcome. How many more logical fallacies have you got?
Unfortunately, gravity is a very it's a very minute force.
Sorry, that's an assertion of a religious belief again. We're trying to establish why the Cavendish experiment is not an experiment. I've already absolutely ripped it to pieces about 3 times. Now you want to claim that you've got a naturally observable phenomena of mass attracting mass. I'm telling you to show me where it happens, and you again take me to your religious belief about what Earth and the Moon does. So you believe
Well,
Earth's
it
a sphere
happens-
with the Moon falling around it. That's a religious belief. Where do we observe
happens
mass
in-
attracting mass in nature? Not your religious belief about what the Moon is and Earth is.
Well, it happens in the Cavendish observation. if that's what you mean.
Exactly! In the Cavendish experiment. So we don't observe it in nature as a natural phenomena, precisely what I said right at the beginning. It is conjured from within the experiment.
It's
Conjured.
within the experiment. It is experimented within reality. So what do you want?
Yeah, a natural phenomena, dickhead. That's why I keep asking where we observe it in nature.
Your feet
That's what
stay on the
science
ground.
deals.
What?
You're talking, you asked me a question. Now I'm answering. That's what science deals with. Natural phenomena? Yeah? So telling me you can observe something.
Can I
I'm still
pose a question
talking.
to you then?
I'm still talking. That's
Okay.
what science deals
I'll
with.
let you finish, even though
Yeah,
don't.
you do that. I'm the host. We observe
so-
natural phenomena in science. That's what it's dealing
Yes.
with. The physical
Yes.
and natural world. Not what you can conjure within a test. That's not what
Yep,
science...
okay.
That's caused by man. It's not a natural
Okay.
phenomena. That's what I said at the beginning. It's conjured in the test.
Yes. Okay.
So it's not
Can we start
science
from a
then.
different thing?
Excellent. So we've got a concession. It's not science. You don't
Sure.
have this band-aid to use when
It is
explaining how
science, but
space can exist.
For
You
the
don't have
purpose
gravity.
of this argument, we'll concede it.
You're
No
still
worries.
talking over me. So you don't have gravity to use anymore. Let's not circle jerk back to gravity again and go back to the original assertion that you can have space. So, how do you have gas pressure without a container?
Well, you need to prove gravity in order for my argument
No, I
to
don't.
work,
We've
unfortunately.
already done this. Asshole, don't circle jerk. If you circle jerk me back to gravity again, I'll kick you out because you're just a wanker who's wasting our time. You don't have any proof of gravity. There's no scientific evidence. You've attempted, again, for about the 10th time on this show, to claim that Cavendish is gravity. You've conceded it isn't. It's a circus sideshow. So let's not go back to gravity. You don't have any scientific evidence for it. So, your original assertion, you can have space, no problem. Gas pressure can exist by a vacuum, no problem. Now prove that. How do we have this second law of thermodynamics violation?
It's not a violation because it's being acted on by
It
a
is.
force.
Yeah, it is. It's not. Oh, back to the force of gravity. Time to kick this asshole out. So it has a force acting on it, and that's gravity, is it?
Yes, and that is
Bye
the
bye.
entire
I
argument,
don't like
but you're
your
not
religious
letting me
zealotry
make my argument.
anymore. Goodbye. Stop asserting religious beliefs here. You have no scientific evidence of gravity. If you can't accept that and must circle jerk us back 4 times to an assertion about your religious belief about this shit, I'm just going to kick you out from now on. 4 times is enough. I don't want to hear your religious faith in gravity. You don't have any scientific evidence for it. You think you do. Even when it's ripped apart, you keep asserting it. So sod off. Come back when you realise you're a zealot. Hey, Arwin.
Hello. Good morning.
So, yeah, thanks, Jaren, for sending in some fresh meat.
Good morning, guys.
Arrived just in the heat of the moment.
Oh, I didn't see you join Chocolate, sorry. Hey.
It's okay, you were a little busy.
What happened?
Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to have a cup of coffee.
Who got kicked
Yeah,
out?
well, I would have been interested in having him reproduce Cavendish's hypothesis because it seemed to me that he was trying to fabricate an hypothesis that he thought would fit within his attempting to prove gravity with Cavendish. You know, so because Nathan was pushing him to formulate a hypothesis, and he was saying, well, I guess you could and we would have to then bring him back and say, no, go to Cavendish, look up Cavendish's hypothesis. Is there one? What is it? That's where we need to go. We don't need you to think about what it might have been or create it yourself.
Yes, it's a correlation only that they demonstrate. And in almost all examples, when ballers argue the Cavendish, at some stage during the discussion, they will substitute their observed phenomena for their independent variable. So they will reverse the cause and effect and claim that the effect is the cause and the cause is the effect. And he did exactly that. So he starts off with an observed phenomena of mass attracts mass, cause being gravity, and then eventually substitute it so that they're actually observing the force. He even said it. So that's what they do. They switch the two. So it's just circular reasoning. The experiment is not an experiment. The observed phenomena is not an observed phenomena. It's just nonsense. It's literally...
Well,
Go on.
The other thing that's interesting about it too is when we ask for a phenomenon, they never go, except for the fact that he did come back and say, you're standing on the earth. So that's his observed phenomenon. The fact that you're standing on earth is proof of gravity. But when you first asked him, what is your observed phenomenon? He didn't go to anything in nature. He went to a man-made, conjured circus trick.
Happy birthday, Arwin.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Arwen.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you.
Yep.
So, 21 again, Arwin?
Sorry? 21?
A British joke. Beyond a certain age, you just declare yourself as 21 every time you have a birthday.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel a little bit older than 21, though. So maybe it just migrates a little bit slower. But no, it's been nice.
I've got to say, for 60, you look fantastic.
Right. For 90 as well.
We've got that Svaldo crying in chat. He said it's an absolute shit show of a debate.
Yeah, when you keep constantly circle jerking us. Originally, your observed phenomena was mass attracts mass. Now, after the end of the shit show that you produced, we have the observed phenomena of the force. Oh, right. You're observing gravity, are you? All right, where do I observe that then? Not to mention the fact that it was originally mass attracting mass. Cause mass. All right. Nonsense, my friend.
I think at some point he was probably just going to refer to things falling down as the observed phenomenon, because they can't even come up with an observed phenomenon for the Cavendish. And this is why they get upset when we say that it's not an actual experiment, because what did he observe naturally in the world to make him put this experiment together?
He didn't. He observed torsion bar twist. That's the effect that's being observed. Torsion bar twist.
That he had to actually put together to observe it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's complete nonsense. It's definitely not science, but in the face of being, or having it pointed out that it doesn't equate to scientific evidence of anything, people will still just go back to the starting point and assert that, well, I still got gravity as my explanation for space being here. It's like, oh, right, well, I don't care. That's just, now it becomes your religious belief. You know, state your religious belief for 4 times, and it's just like, you're just a fundy. Get out. I'm sick of dealing with fundies. I don't know about you guys, but that's what we're dealing with, fundies. Well, I believe it. You must believe as I even said it at one stage as well. You know, well, I believe that. So, it's like, well, right, oh, well, that trumps all, does it? Your belief, you bloody fundy. Sod off.
Yeah, but they don't realise that the fundies, they don't realise that they don't have an argument. They think they have an argument. This guy, he's doing, he's still a student, isn't he? So he's still in that indoctrination stage where he's being told something and he's believing that, and he doesn't realize it doesn't work in the real world. He thinks he has an argument, and he doesn't realize that he doesn't.
His timing's pretty good. Has been joined by Eleanor now. She's decided to join the debates. No more shouting at globeheads.
So, did you guys catch yesterday's show?
Whose show?
Your show. Did people in chat catch yesterday's show? Arwin, did you see it? Did you see Jose?
I think Arwen's disappeared for a couple of coffees. He just recently finished his show, so yes, absolutely staggering footage from Jose JG Soundly Slayer Gonzalez. Brilliant stuff.
Francie, real quick, I did catch you on that Guardian. Was it that little video made by the Guardian?
Oh yeah.
And I was listening to it. I wasn't really watching. I turned away, and then I heard your voice. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that voice. I look up. I'm like, oh shit, look at Ranty in this video. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they didn't get the whole gist of the point though, because they just got a part of it, so it didn't really make much sense. But
where was that?
That was down in London. It was for the end of the Globe Lite tour, and they turned up and they were talking to people. And yeah, I mean, I got the impression that those guys were, you know, they were interested in what we had to say. They didn't give the impression that they were trying to do a hit piece. And when we were speaking to them, and when I was talking to them about compression and how they'd hijacked the curve calcs as a compression calculator, and was talking about that to them, their ears were pricked up. I mean, they were really listening intently and asking questions, and it was nice to put a bit in of me, because obviously that was kind of like some kind of nod to me that they were taking on what I'd said. Because when I was speaking to Bob, because they stayed with Bob over when they went to America, and he said that again, he got the impression that they were really interested in the subject, and the whole presentation of the video wasn't a hit piece. It was actually a very decent video in effect. You know, there was nothing bad in it. So yeah, like I say, I mean, Mr. Cheswick put the video out saying that the people in the video are being sort of like promoted by the mainstream. I don't see it that way, because I see that the way that they did the censorship announcement, and they included 9/11 in that, in the same sentence. So 9/11, flat Earth. Well, I think most people know that 9/11 didn't go down the way the mainstream says. So by throwing flat Earth alongside that, it's going to open people's eyes, because a lot of people will see 9/11 and think, well, why is that as a conspiracy theory, when we know that it is actually wrong, that the official narrative is wrong, and then they'll see that flat Earth is obviously right next to that. So it could be a slow rollout for all we know. You know, it could be a slow rollout.
I've always thought that, to be honest.
I was pretty surprised, because it wasn't really a hit piece, and I was kind of expecting that, but it actually presented it as it is, an alternate view, that people have an alternate view on what's going on, and that's actually cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I mean, I didn't think that they'd done anything. There was no hit piece in it. And I think that's how things have started to change. If you look at the more recent mainstream stuff that have been put out, it isn't attacking us like they originally were doing. You know, it's more positive. So, I mean, like I say, it could be some kind of very slow rollout. I know, Nathan, you kind of suspect that, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, up until now, I've maintained that we're not censored. I've said we show up on all the search lists and blah, blah, blah. You know, I was quite the opposite in my opinion. We're definitely not being censored. In fact, it seems almost like we're being promoted. Now, I think that's just part of the popularity in its literal organic way, growing through YouTube's algorithms. People recommend what's gaining popularity. That's how it works. But for them to put a stop to it and actually declare it and be, balls out saying, yeah, we're censoring this, It's dangerous. It's like, oh, okay, I'm sure, I can't remember which comment section I was talking about this in recently, but it was along the lines of, so, Ancient Aliens, stick it on mainstream, stick it on Discovery. Roswell, New Mexico, stick it on Discovery. Yep, that's great, wonderful. Ghost Hunters, yep, let's get that on mainstream TV. Not dangerous in the slightest. Yep, wonderful. Flat Earth, oh no, that's dangerous. It's like, well, you couldn't really have a better accolade for Flat Earth by saying this is something that people should be concerned with. Because up until now, it was step one, just laugh at it and ignore it. It's stupid. Oh, these people are just stupid. Ignore them. Well, now the public's been told, actually, these people are quite, influential in the way that they can influence your mind, and you better keep away from them. In fact, we're going to intentionally try and keep you away from them. Now, there's going to be a certain people out there that are just anti being told what they can and can't do, and just go, what? What am I not supposed to look at? Let's have a little look at that then.
It's like if you're walking down a corridor and you're walking down a corridor with somebody and all the doors are open and one door's closed and somebody says, don't look in that door.
Yeah, don't look in that. Exactly.
Yeah, don't look in there. You don't want to look in there. Honestly, it's dangerous. Some people are going to open the door, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a certain number of inquisitive people that just think, well, no, I'll have a little look then if I'm not supposed to have a look. Why would you need to tell me that I'm not supposed to have a look? I wasn't even thinking about having a look. What's this flat Earth now? In other words, it's just no such thing as bad advertising in that regard. However, if they literally write you out the algorithm, that's a different tale, isn't it? So off the back of that, I will say a quick plug to all the people in the audience, which is to say share these shows. So not necessarily this one while it's live, so people in the audience now are limited, that may be. When these shows go out on the Nathan Oakley or Nathan Oakley 1980 audience, I'm in the chat normally pestering people like a stuck record to share the show. It's like, well, this won't reach anybody unless you share it now. So as much as it's great to watch the show, great that you're subscribed, share it. That's the thing that gets it out to other people like yourself who enjoy the show, regardless of which side of the fence you sit on. It's now at the point at Ranty where more Globeheads have actually approached me in comments, chat feeds, or otherwise to say, I missed your show while it was off the air, and it was a bastard what happened to you, etc., etc. So people won't like this. Shout out to YouTube Surgeon General, whoever he may be, chat troll, on the Globe side, who said exactly that to me yesterday. It's like, look, man, it was shit what happened to you. I like your show and I like watching it. I was like, thanks, I appreciate that. And he's not the first to do it from the Globe side. So things like that. Same applies when I say share the show. I know there's people in there that say, I wouldn't share this shit. You're an idiot, whatever. Well, those guys, actually, I know damn well they do share it. They share it in Discord. So they tell all the other Globeheads, look at what he's saying about this. In other words, they're sharing it. And I can ask no more. It doesn't matter if it's shared in vitriol. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, it was the reason I brought Jose in was because he formulated his belief in going back to the globe purely on his observations of a boat that appeared to be hidden by Earth curvature, if you remember. And we talked about that with him and said, look, you're basically filming in an area that's renowned for tidal bores, and you've got sandbanks there, you've got a channel where the shipping lanes come through, so you've got all this topography that's going to be churning things up. And lo and behold, he did a video yesterday showing exactly that. And I don't know whether he's staying on the globe, he probably will, but it was just a very interesting thing to pull him back on, because basically that kind of negates all his observations from that location, because the topography of the land and underneath the water is always going to have an effect on things that he's trying to film. So he needs to find a different location, and basically if he's come up with a proof for globe from that location, like I say, he's got to write it off, because he saw from yesterday's video the problems that he's encountering from that spot.
So with that, I'm going to round out for a short break. So I will, at this stage, bid farewell to the live audience in the Flat Earth Debate channel and say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you for watching this debate live, and of course a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. There will be a second show to follow on the live channel, so stay tuned for that. It'll come back online in about 10 minutes time. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video. One more thing, if you're watching this in the Nathan Oakley or Nathan Oakley 1980 channel, stay tuned as there will be a short outro and after show.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Nathan falling off his chair.
Da-da-dun, da-da-dun. I've ran to that for a short break, just so get my kid tended to go live in about 10 minutes.
That's why.
You hear me? Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on?
Yes, we can hear you, Nath.
Hello, Unorthodox.
Yo, yo.
Yes,
What's up,
okay,
people?
I know you want my attention. I'm going to leave you guys to it for 10.
Me?
Hello? Yeah, Nathan's just left for 10 minutes. He's going to start the second show up in a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just getting on here to kind of secure my spot.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't know if anybody was on here or not.
Yeah, there's a few.
He got a little triggered awfully quick earlier, man. That did not take long at all.
Well, I think he's had that argument so many times, and if you're going to bring the same argument, something that he's already argued with other people in the past, the exact same way, he's going to get triggered, and it is literally going around in circles.
Yeah, but most people don't know that you guys have been doing the show for 3 years, though, Ranty. Most people don't have a clue. They don't know what arguments have been discussed. They don't know, they don't know half of the stuff.
Yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from there, but I think we're at this stage now where the audience is sick of hearing that kind of stuff. They want truth. They want people to come in who say that they've got a physics background and say, this is the evidence that we have, and literally provide evidence, not provide theories. We want evidence. We've already done the theories over and over. We've worked these to death. And if people are going to come in with a theory, it's going to trigger not just Nathan, but the audience as well. We've all heard it before. And the people that bring this theory need to understand that it is just a theory. They don't have evidence.
Well, if that's the case, then he needs to kind of walk him through what the problem is quicker or something instead of just going nutty for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a way to kind of, hi everybody, first of all, this is Paul. Might be a good way to go over the difference between hypothesis, theory, proof, all that again. I know it's a pain in the butt, but maybe that's one way to get people to start listening, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, maybe.
God damn it.
What?
I hate Skype. I just hate it.
It was feeding.
That's it. Hey, yeah, I can hear you,
Just
John.
put it on Do Not Disturb.
You know you're part of the show now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Just as long as you know. I'm just doing other things for the next 10 minutes. The show will go out live in about, I don't know, seven and a half minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
up,
maybe
gentlemen?
Nathan could walk them through it again, but how many times have you got to walk through a new guest every single time that they come on? It's only an hour show each time, We haven't got time to spend 15 minutes walking through them and saying this, and this. They can watch previous shows if they want to learn. They can learn that they can't just walk in and just click the link and then tell us that they have proof when they don't.
Or maybe having just a simple video, maybe someone producing a simple video, say, look, before we get into this discussion, watch this video, understand the concepts, and then come back and engage.
That is an excellent idea. That is an excellent idea, actually. Very excellent idea. Nathan, did you hear that? No, I'll talk to him about it later, but that is an excellent idea. Maybe incorporate it in the opening credits and say there's a link to the video. If you want to check what we class as scientific proof, and what we don't class as a theory, well, what we won't class, which is a theory. That's a very good idea.
So we got to give them a class on what their story is.
Sorry, say again.
So we have to give them a class on what their story is.
Yeah, but didn't the guy come in off of Jaren's video yesterday? Like,
Yeah.
wasn't that the first thing he said? So he watched the video, saw all of that, and then still came in?
That's true.
Like, I don't... So he already had his lesson, but he came in thinking that he was going to give us a lesson. That's the problem.
Oh, wait, are you still live, or have you finished your show?
No, of course, I'm on this panel. It's not gonna work out if I'm gonna be live on my show at the same time.
Hey, man, you got some nice birthday presents as well.
Yeah, I did. Indeed.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
fuck you, so it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, $50. Nice one.
Indeed. Hey, do you, by the way, know how to actually extract money from that?
What you mean? Yeah. Well, what happens is, because it's linked to your AdSense account, isn't it? So when you hit a certain amount, you can set that in your AdSense account. So I think you need at least £60 in there. And
I'm
what
already way over there.
Okay, well, what will happen is you need to just set it so that it automatically pays you out once you've reached that threshold. So the next payday, I believe, will be next month now. So you're going to have to wait about, hang on, what we're in now. So you're going to have to wait 6 weeks to get paid.
6 weeks? What the?
Yeah. Well, they release the funds at the start of each month. So the next cycle will be March, so March the 1st. So then that'll get credited to your AdSense account, and then AdSense pay you somewhere between the 21st and the 25th of the month. So between the 21st and 25th of March is when you'll get the money that's in your account now.
Does that happen automatically?
You need to check in your AdSense, like I say, and do you check your payout preferences. So I haven't checked mine, but it's something like that. You just go in there and you just need to set it to automatic.
Okay.
But it is a bit of a bummer. You have to wait 6 weeks off.
Hey, I just dropped a link into the Hangout chat. It's from PBS about, it says fact versus theory versus hypothesis versus law. Explained. It's about 7 minutes long. I wonder if something like that might be, if we would agree on how they're describing it.
Who's it from?
I wonder if they believe in the law of gravitation.
Who's it from?
PBS.
It's PBS.
Oh God, they probably screwed it all up.
And with that, I'm going to say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you joining us in the Nathan Oakley 1980 and Nathan Oakley audiences. Be sure to check out the website, join the forum, become a Patreon. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!